All right, so as we head into hour 6 of Stoneforge Mystic Day, the best Stoneforge Mystic deck we've played so far, surprise, surprise, was Vanasphere combo. Stoneforge was an extra must-answer threat that felt very elegant inside of that shell. We have here another creature combo shell, a la Devoted Druid combo. So for those that haven't seen this before, the basic combo in this deck is Devoted Druid here, alongside Vizier of Remedies, generates an unlimited amount of green mana. And then with that unlimited amount of green mana, we can kill our opponent in a variety of ways. With Duskwatch Recruiter, we can draw every creature out of our deck. And when we do that, that includes Walking Ballista here, which we can pump an unlimited amount of mana into to shoot our opponent a whole bunch. It also includes Shalai, Voice of Plenty, which we can pay 6 to put more 1 counters and everything on our board. It also has Finale of Devastation as a payoff for unlimited mana. So let's go ahead and dive on in to a set here with Devoted Blade and see how it goes. I mean, yeah, I think the changes are an improvement to the format, flight forward. I don't think they changed a ton about the format at a fundamental level, but they did remove a number of the games that are, you know, the games that are about mulliganing to Leyline of the Void and then your opponent mulliganing to their anti-Leyline of the Void card. Those games, they just suck. So like having less of those games in the format is just a true positive. Yeah, I'm aware of how the interface works, and yeah, it's still slow, but I'm aware of how it works. I've played a little bit of Magic Online in my time. Now here's a question. Burgle and Bob, are you here? What do you stick on 2 here? It's just Druid, right? Because we have the turn 3 combo. Pod Bomb was great. That deck's a lot of fun. Is there a way to find out exactly how much MTGO you've played? Probably. Do I know? No, because I don't want to know. So, the way this works from here is, if we get to untap with this Druid, next turn we'll cast Eladamri's Call, which gets us a creature out of our deck. We'll cast Vizier of Remedies, which then gives us unlimited green mana. How do we kill them from there? Do we have a kill from there? I don't have a payoff, right? I have infinite, because like I can witness, pick back up Call, but then I don't have white mana to cast Call, right? Oh, because this makes 2. This makes 2. Got it. I'm gonna play a land for the turn. Yep. This A were for Grafdigger's Cage. Grafdigger's Cage doesn't do anything, right? That'll do, pig. That'll do. Alright, so Needle plays, so what do we do from there? I assume we have a way in our main deck to kill that. I think I just go kill that, right? Hey, Eric Sko, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. You want me to play Stoneforge also? Yep. So they don't have white or black mana, so they can't. Woof. Stoneforge Mystic was preemptively banned in Modern because it was good in other non-Modern formats previously. We have one Knight of Autumn in our main deck, Dancer Needle. That seems like a poor rationale. Yep. You mean it fundamentally ignores the fact that the power level of cards and combinations of cards is contextual to the format in which they're being played? And that a card can be completely busted in one format and be completely fine in another, or borderline not good enough? We should have played Canopy this turn in case we draw another Canopy. It's a good call. So, what's it called? Kills us. If they have a copy of Thopter Foundry next turn, we're dead. Lets them play their entire deck out and go to an arbitrarily large health total. Well, so it theoretically lets them play their entire deck out, Burgle, because they generate arbitrarily large amounts of mana. So a lot of these decks have a way to destroy our entire board in their deck. So I'm going to go ahead and concede. Yeah, usually there's a Spine of Visha. So when they combo, yeah, it's not worth playing out. In paper, I would ask them if they have a Spine or a way to interact with my board here. But from a Magic Online perspective, we're just gonna all right, go to the next one. All right, so Collector and Teeg. Yeah, both my opponent's deck and our deck are decks that are just much better in paper than digitally. So these 6 come out. Tireless Tracker is probably fine here for hitting some extra card drops. Path to Exile interacts with their Urza, so that seems appealing. Maybe Tracker's not good enough. Oh, Plague shuts their combo off. It totally does. Yep, that's much better than Tracker. I don't think I want Scavenging Ooze here. Do I want Ooze over Ranger-Captain Eos, maybe? Kambal does not punish them from drawing and casting their deck because they gain an arbitrarily amount of life they do when they go off. Yeah. For people that might be new to the stream, there's some other streamers that make their opponent click through the combos. We're not that person anymore. We've got things to do, places to go, people to see. Honor Guard stops the combo as well. Does it? Yeah, it stops permanents from entering play doing stuff, right? See, it seems like the low end of keepable. Oh, it's creatures, so it doesn't cause Meek to trigger when it enters. That's fair. You think I want to just mulligan for more combo pieces aggressively? Because we're technically a 3-card combo. Hey, look at that. I found a combo piece. I mean, I think people were playing Stony Silence even when there were graveyard decks around Usby. So yeah, a lot of the white decks I put together have some number of Stony Silence in the 75. I don't have Kambal in my deck, Burgle. Why do you think I should have Kambal in this matchup? Kambal doesn't disrupt their combo at all. So, since I have Teeg in play anyways, do I just go get Devoted Druid since I have double Canopy plus this Vizier? I think we just go get Druid here. So I get a bunch of shots at the third piece to kill them next turn. Linvala is one-sided. It is not symmetrical. Linvala is a fine card. Wouldn't fault anyone for including that in their 75. I could have killed that in response. I think I'd rather have a land with these 2 cycle lands. Start by cycling this and see where we go. I think I'm just going to cycle again here, actually. That's a finale. Okay, so I think we just do this. I think I'm going to pass here. I want to be able to path Urza in response to a Sword of the Meek next turn. Oh, geez, I can't even finale because of the Teeg. That's great. I think Kataki's probably worse than Collector Ouphe on average. Yeah, I could see Teeg not being good enough. Nah, I think speculating on random things like that's a waste of brain power. I'd rather spend time working on things that I can actually impact. Like have meaningful results from. So in response to this, I'm gonna path them. So that way they can't draw a free card with it. Stoneforge Mystic's been like Jace or Bloodbraid. It's like really good in some spots, mediocre in many spots. Probably playable around the fringes of the format. They made 4 blue mana there. If they just like have another Urza. I'm not sure we're capable of beating second Urza here. That's the plan, Sunsaru. Throw a bunch at the wall and see what sticks. This archetype just has so many moving parts compared to the Vanafear deck. The Vanasphere deck's, like, kind of a pseudo one-card combo. And, like, the problem here is that, like, even if they don't find their combo, like, them just, like, getting to activate Urza 2 to 3 times a turn is probably not something we can beat, especially with these giant constructs in play. I'm gonna go ahead and move to the next one. This one's almost certainly over. Does Karn make Urza Structs, or does Urza make Karn Structs? Probably the latter. I'd venture to guess it's the latter. Pretty easy mulligan here. No second land. No combo pieces. Can I keep this? I'm on the draw. I'm going to keep this on the draw. Yeah, the Urza deck is like if Splinter Twin and Lantern Control had this awkward love child that's just like miserable in every direction. You have a Wall of Omen's opponent. So I think we want to just, like, put the pedal to the floor and go get our thing. Yeah, Tocatli, this will definitely be a good Tocatli matchup. Agree on that. Stoneforge does not have text versus the tribal drawing cards and gain life deck. I agree. I think I'm going to play Stoneforge as, hey, look, a distraction here. As well, plenty of mana next turn regardless. Do not board in Teeg here. Yeah, that seems bad. Is there a reasonable Magic subreddit? Yeah, my Discord channel would be the good answer. Should I see it as a compliment to the Goblin deck? No, you should see it as a complaint against playing Fair Magic. How? Stoneforge Mystic still... I just kill this in response, right? Because I can't interact with this. You're wrong because the small chance of turning off their time walks is not worth the huge downside of not being able to cast my finales. Why do I need to make it around 100 in Arena? Are you talking about, like, level 100? Oh, Oh, mythic rank. No, laddering in Arena I find pretty miserable. It's a high variance crap show, so I've given up on the ladder for now in future seasons. It was fun playing in the MCQ, but if you're ever playing Magic and you find yourself not having fun, you should stop playing Magic however you're currently playing Magic. And playing on the ladder made me hate playing Magic. So, rather than feeling like I hate Magic and Arena and everything related to my job, I'm instead going to just not play the ladder. How do I ever beat this Soul Herder plus Deputy? I think I have to play the Shalai out. It's play the Shalai out is the answer, right? They're not killing me anytime soon. Yeah, we'll play to Mythic each season. Mythic's easy because there's a clear timeline. Yeah, I think so, Hat Crab Zombie. I wasn't thinking about the ramifications of them getting to blink the Deputy every turn. So, I definitely should have let them take this Druid. Because they're gonna get to, like, put whatever they want under this, basically. So, I agree with your assessment. I think we're dead. They're gonna kill us before we can do anything here. Because now, yeah, the fact that I put this in the bin instead of letting it go under the Deputy is what killed us here. Twitch says it's 12 months, my Prime sub doesn't end till the 6th. Thanks for keeping me around, Keeneris. I really wish Twitch would go back to having anniversaries pop when people renew. It's really confusing and awkward that it doesn't. The card Soul Herder in play lets them blink something every turn. Honor Guard's great. Path is great. Tireless Tracker's probably fine. Scavenging Ooze stops Witness, I guess. Seems fine. Engineer named Snake is good, sure. Yeah, so the opponent's deck is basically, it's a new variation of a Tron-style deck in that it's really absurd against fair decks, but tends to be slow and clunky against unfair decks. Yeah, they had some good interaction that game, though. Although it's also worth noting if I would have made the correct play with Devoted Druid, if I'd been more familiar with their deck's play pattern, we probably would have killed them still there. We board out the Stoneforge Mystic against anything that, we don't want to grind against. It has a bad Tron matchup. Yeah, I'd believe that. Anything slow and clunky tends to have a bad Tron matchup. This hand's great. If blocking and attacking are bad, you board out Mystic. It's a great, that's a very apt way to summarize it. We dodged it all day. I don't think we played against Tron today. Yeah, I think we have been dodging it. Our last couple of decks have had okay Tron matchups, but we have not hit it. Yeah, we've not played against Green Tron. We did hit Eldrazi Tron for the very first match. That is correct. This deck isn't killing Tron through honest combat, Niv. So, like, a deck like Jeskai Blade is going to leave Stoneforge Mystic in against Tron, but, like, this deck isn't going to be a deck that wants it in against Tron. Ranger of Eos finds Walking Ballista. It does find a combo piece. Okay, that's a payoff. So I should have bottomed the other 1-mana dork then. JK Magic Sword. So their deck does play 4 copies of Force Negation. And if I would have kept the Ranger, we could have Rangered here. Yeah. Played Modern in years, but in this standard format in particular, the power level has felt like that of Modern. Nah, I think so. If you think the current standard format feels like Modern power level, you don't understand what Modern is. So I agree that the current standard format is high power level, but it's not Modern power level. Yeah, if you head on over to my website, magicesports.net, there's a Modern dropdown on there, just like there are standard dropdowns. There's like 50 different Modern decks up there. There's a handful of them that currently have Faithless Looting in them, which was just banned, and those will get updated with replacement cards by this weekend. But a great selection of decks to pick from there for sure. You can watch some videos, get my thoughts on them, etc. You think Nerd Rage gets you to commentate their monthly events? I did a couple of their events way back when they were first getting started, and it was just too much of a time commitment for me. It's a big commitment to go for an entire day and then travel time too. Looting with Tome Scour seems a lot worse than just, like, playing Neonate. I don't need extra white mana, so I can keep the basic forest. Hey, Prototype. They brought in Leyline of Sanctity? Weird. I mean, it stops Walking Ballista, right? Hey, Gunners. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one. Hold on, folks. We're going to do it again. Go grab another Devoted Druid here. I really wish this application would remember when you resize the library to a bigger one. All right. So they picked Ephemerate back up. And they... Yeah, so now we just go get Honor Guard, right, Burgle? Spooky. Maybe they probably just didn't have it last turn. Are we dead? Can I concede? Brutal. This deck never likes me. Every time we play this deck, Burgle, it's just like... I feel like I do a whole lot of nothing and we die. To be fair, Socio Penguin, the Soul Herder deck tends to be good against decks that play Lightning Bolt, because so many of their creatures just like generate value when they come into play. Grab Batterskull here. A fair deck. They could be Storm, right? How do I ever beat Thing in the Ice? Can I? Yeah, it's been just kind of whatever, Kane. It's been like nothing to write home about. Yikes. To set an incredibly low bar, this format feels like an improvement over what Modern was previously. That's kind of like saying any of the Democratic primary challengers would be better than Trump, though. Some of the Democratic primary challengers still suck, but they'd still be better than Trump because it's a really low bar. Oh, so you're just playing 4 colors, Bob? You still have Kambal and Plague Engineer and all that jazz? I wonder if they're mono blue or if they're blue-red and missing a color. Did they top with Opt? That's a good question, actually. They did top with Opt. So if they topped with Opt, that's probably more of a sign that they're mono blue. We're also in the O2 bracket, so I feel like in the O2 bracket, they're more likely to be mono blue. Yeah. I agree. Can I draw a card, please, opponent? And then go to my turn and draw another card? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Bueller? Maybe I should stop sacking lands because this thing in the ice is gonna flip over soon. That's probably the case. Well, at least they were nice and did this during my main phase to make up for the fact that I didn't, We don't look like a combo deck currently. We've got that going for us. I don't know what blue-black quasi-duplicate really looks like, Whirly Boy. That's not really an established archetype in Standard. So it's hard to give a baseline if I'm not sure what you're talking about specifically. I guess I probably should have just done this earlier. I guess I should put that on here. It doesn't really matter. Our board's going away soon. Why, Pikes? Be an adult. Explain yourself. It's more powerful because... That's a tight line from the opponent. They played Snap, they Disrupting Shoaled their own Snap, and then they played Snap, they Disrupting Shoaled their own Snap, and then they pierced the Disrupting Shoal. Just like try and kill us here. Yeah, we have a lot of life. That was a good draw. Yeah, Jeskai Flash would be something with a lot of would be a flash deck, and with a lot of Enter the Battlefield triggers, the Soul Herder deck would be the choice. Gabriel Nassif's been playing the Soul Herder deck a lot on stream. He's a great one to learn from. I guess we're dead to Cryptic Command here. We got Cryptic Commanded, Bob. So, I think you're doing what a lot of Magic players do, Pikes, in that you're completely disregarding the context in which you're making your statement. So, like, shock draw card is good in a format where shocking something is meaningful card advantage. But in a brutal format like Modern, gaining life is frequently going to be better than that, I think. Yeah, maybe. Like, it makes us not dead that turn, Jack, but we're still probably dead in the long term, right? Alright, I have Path to Exiles, and I have Veil of Summers. I don't know if I want Teeg. I do want Kambal. Sword of Light and Shadow seems a little bit mediocre. Yeah, white. Sword of Fire and Ice gets the big nod in Legacy because people are used to playing through True Name Nemesis, and that's like not a thing that happens in this format. You don't need to worry about True Name. Do I cut the Stoneforge package here and just try and combo them? I feel like I do. That's relatively clean. This is okay. Getting Kambal down with Giver seems fine. This is not particularly fast though. Like I don't have a Devoted Druid in my opener. I don't know what Death Row Records is. I also don't really have any official affiliation with Hasbro or Wizards of the Coast, so what they do is pretty separate from me. Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Okay. Okie doke. I feel like if we keep the thing off the table, they have a hard time actually killing us, which is a big positive. Believe it or not, Bob, I would be willing to bet that Stoneforge Mystic is not going to change that much. I think there's reasonable shells to play it in, and people who love the card are going to be excited to play it, but long-term impact on banning Faithless Looting probably is going to have a bigger impact than on banning Stoneforge. Enter combat first here. We don't want to play Kambal pre-combat because we don't want them to be able to Cryptic Kambal and tap our team. We want to hit them for 6, and then that way they have to counter draw and not impact the board with their Cryptic command. Vendilion Click, it's a little awkward. Did I say unbanned? I meant banned. Whatever. The change they made. The change to Faithless Looting is a more impactful change. So for people that don't have a long history of, like, how things happen in Modern, there were people who were very adamant that Bitter Blossom and Jace the Mind Sculptor were going to ruin the format as well. And we all know how those ended up, right? Just gonna grab Kambal here. Yeah, Wild Mikado was banned in Modern at one point because that card was too good. Yeah, it just... The thing that, again, jumps out to me just over and over and over again, really experienced Magic players who have had a lot of success seem to just regularly forget that everything in Magic, just like most things in life, is context specific. Being too good in one instance or one format or one set of circumstances does not automatically equate to being too good everywhere. Got the slow grind here. Yeah, people said the London Mulligan would ruin the format. Yep, definitely true. Alright, I'm not going to play a spell into the Cryptic command they targeted. Well, they'll bounce one of my lands here and make draw a card. Or they'll bounce the Giver, sure. I think they should have started Modern without a ban list, or things like Punishing Burden Artifact lands should have been banned from the start. I think there's a number of things that are very good, smart bans. I think the fact that there are a number of cards that are silly on the ban list doesn't mean that the entire ban list is silly, if that makes sense. There are a number of cards on the ban list that if I was in charge, I would leave there because they deserve to be there. GTA, Punishing Fire, Hypergenesis, Glimpse of Nature, Chrome Mox, Rite of Flame. Yeah. Yep. Punishing Fire should remain banned in Modern for the same reason I hope they ban Nexus of Fate in Historic, in that the types of gameplay that Punishing Fire generates is miserable. Yeah, I think Green Sun would be a fine unban. We just got Archmage Charm, chat. I'd leave Eye of Ugin banned. Alright, I'm kind of off this deck. I know I said I was going to run long today, but I've got a bit of a headache, and I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. So, Modern seems far more reasonable with these changes. So rather than bailing on the format like the plan was when it was a Faithless Looting Dumpster Fire, I think we're going to go back at least between now and when rotation happens on the 25th of next month. So for the next month, we're going to be doing 1 to 2 Modern decks most mornings. Mostly 2. Yeah, definitely, Bob. You should DM me. Happy to oblige. I'm generally going to do 2 Modern decks most mornings, with the asterisk that tomorrow morning I have a meeting at Jake's school that I want to go to. So I'm going to be starting a little bit later tomorrow, about 8 a.m. So tomorrow's only going to be 1 Modern deck. But then starting Friday, we're going to go back to doing 2 Moderns in the morning. Yeah, that's exactly what Gusby said there. It might still be a dumpster fire, but it's going to take a little while to settle, even if it does end up being bad still. And while it's settling, it's interesting to try different things. So, at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and call it there. I think there's some other people streaming Modern that I can give a host to. And remember, if you're looking for more content for myself, you can find it on my website and my YouTube channel. How strong is Stoneforge? Stoneforge has felt exactly how I've expected it to felt. It is a reasonable, modern playable card that is in no way overbearing or oppressive. Which sword? Light and Shadow's been great. I think this is my primary favorite sword in most of these decks, and I wouldn't mind Fire and Ice as a secondary in the sides.